Hello everybody, I'm Zerodaimaru and welcome back to Big Pharma. So today we are going to hop up to the advanced tier of challenges. The intermediate proved to just be a little bit too easy, and I think advanced is right about where I want to be difficulty wise. So let's go ahead and hop into even more money, and that's basically just a challenge to make a whole bunch of money within a certain amount of time. We're going to go ahead and go as Zero Pills as our, Barkley here, and there's been an update since the last time I've played, and it's added quite a few nice kind of quality of life features, one of which is that you don't have to fill out this screen every single time anymore. You can, go ahead and just, it remembers what you put in your last game. So let's go ahead and take a, put the game on pause right away, actually, and kind of take a look around at what we have for buildings. Alright, so I'm seeing a couple buildings I like and a couple buildings I don't like. I don't like this building here. The little spaces you get on the sides are just too small to really do a lot with. And then to get any space at all, you have to buy this big area in the middle, but you don't get any doors by making that purchase. I like this building as a starter building. It gives you a large area, which you kind of need in the early game because you don't have access to your more compact machines yet, nor are you making drugs that are valuable enough to really warrant using them in any great amount. So this is a really good starting building in my opinion. We have a fairly easy branch off into a bigger building in this one here, so that we can progress into some more complex drugs that way. Another quick hop over to this building here, which is really good for a single, complex line, I find, or two smaller, less complex lines. So that's all good there. This building here is a bit oddly shaped, and this setup of doors here I find absolutely worthless. I shouldn't say worthless, but it's not as good as it could otherwise be, I find. Otherwise, though, not a horrible starting map, I have to say. Let's go ahead and take a look at our ingredients. And this is where the game is going to screw us. So there is no way on either of these starting ingredients that we can activate the effect without having a side effect. So there's that to start with. Then we can upgrade to treats angina with an ionizer here, but we have to get it down to a 6. So we're dropping the concentration almost in half, which is less than good. This one can be upgraded to an antibiotic with a agglomerator, which I think is probably where we're going to kind of focus our efforts to start with, because if we hop over into the cure section, antibiotics is a huge market when compared to, treating angia. It's got 1,059 sufferers currently, and we can probably run a line or two and still make pretty good money off of it. Now, the AI is going to hop into this market just as hard as we are, so it's not a place that we want to put a massive amount of attention. We're going to want to get in there, make our money, and then get out pretty quick. But it is a place that we can make some money to start with, so I'm going to go ahead and get a scientist hired right away and get him working on our agglomerator. In the meantime, we do need to get a product out the door. And our best bet is actually probably to start with our relieves hypertension here, because it's worth just a little bit more. And that way we're kind of spreading out our material a little bit between the two here. I don't really see, like, if we upgrade here, we have to go up by 1, right? Either way, we have to move by 1, so that's not really a huge deal. If we go up by 1 here, we're kind of approaching the middle of narrow pupils, which means we have a better chance of being near the strongest concentration of the negative side effect. Over here, we have to drop by 1, which means we're going to be closer to the end here. Now, there's a good chance that the strongest side effect could be here, right? But there's also just as equally a good chance that it's over here. So we have a bit of a better chance, I find, of being further away from the strongest concentration by being at one end or the other. Whereas if you're in the middle, you're either right on top of it, or you're you're closer than you might otherwise be. So we're gonna go ahead and start with our relieves hypertension drug, and all we have to do with that one is drop it by 1. So that's gonna mean just a simple dissolver line, like so, into a couple of pill printers. Here and here. Nice simple line just to get us started. We'll get it all set up. And import you. Let's go ahead and let things run here. We're actually going to bump the speed up a little bit. Yeah, so that'll get our relieves hypertension active. It's not going to be worth a lot of money, but it'll at least get us, you know, something to start with. And the rating on this drug is going to be quite low, I imagine. Alright, here's another nice feature that the quality of life patch added. Now, this isn't on by default, but you can turn this on. Whenever you have a new product, it will pause the game automatically and pop up the window for you. So you don't have to worry about, oh, I accidentally opened the new product window before I paused, and you can't pause from this screen, yada, yada, yada. So this is actually a change I really enjoy. And again, it's not on by default, but if you go into your options, I'll show you here real quick. If you go into your options, it'll be right on your first settings, on your game settings, when product needs name. It'll be on wait for user by default. You just move it down to auto pause and focus. I suppose with the way that I name my drugs, I could leave it on auto name, but yeah. Alright, so we're making a $64 profit there currently. So, that'll all be good there. Alright, so we're producing that medication there. Sorry for the interruption. Let's see. So next we basically are just waiting for our agglomerator to finish before we can move on to our next thing, which is going to be upgrading our Zeus Cold Sword antibiotic, which is actually not going to be too hard of an upgrade. It's only a 2-point upgrade to make it upgradable by the agglomerator, so a couple of evaporators, and there we go. In the meantime, we're just going to make what little money off of this hypertension drug that we can. The profit still seems to be pretty good so far. We're getting a D ranking on it, but I was kind of expecting that. I wasn't expecting to have a lot of money coming in from this guy. Not with the side effects that we have. Nobody else has produced anything yet, though. So we're just going to go ahead and throw this on to max speed here. There we go. So they're getting into the hypertension market as well. Yeah, okay, so we have two competitors now, so our profit on this guy is going to drop significantly. Yeah, okay, all of them decided to hop into hypertension. Bastards. Hopefully, our profit will last long enough that we can bankroll our next expansion. I guess I need to maybe slow it down here for a second as I decide which way that's going to be. Well, expanding over here... Oh, wait, no, sorry. Expanding over here does get us 2 doors. I didn't see this one over here right away, so I was going to say, oh, we only get 1 door, but no, I'm an idiot. Let's see. We can expand this way, maybe buy up the rest of this building here and use it for our beginning lines. But I like the idea of maybe working towards this building to get something big going sooner rather than later. That being said, where else? If we grabbed here, we could maybe expand to here, which is also a good building for that kind of a line, because you have the 2 inputs here and here, so you could maybe do a like a double mixer setup type of idea. I think for now we would just expand here to start, and then we would kind of go from there. So it looks like our drug is still holding up fairly well. Maybe the market is big enough that it can afford for... oh wow, they've gotten into it hard. They've got 2 production lines going. So that's definitely not a market we're going to want to stay in for any amount of time. Or at the very least, we're not going to invest a whole lot of money into expanding in it, because if I take a look over here, already our hypertension market is already at 111% saturation, and they're still churning out more hypertension drugs. Like, it's ridiculous. So we're going to want to get out of that. Yeah, you can see our profit here has already fallen to about $14 a tick. Not good. Not good. How close is our research to being done? 18 days. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and pick up the next portion here, and we're going to start working on what we need to do our work brain. Our antibiotic, which basically is just increased by 2 and then run through an agglomerator. So let's go ahead and go basic, evaporators. We're going to go boom and boom. We need to wait for an agglomerator. And I keep clicking off the damn window because there's no... Unless maybe I've missed something, but I don't think there's a way that I can force it to keep the mouse inside the window, which is a bit of a pain in the ass. So, sorry for the break in the video if there is one. Hopefully there isn't. So yeah, we're going to run it through 2 agglomerators. And yeah, this is the one we want. Import that. Get that started. How's our research coming along? We have 1 day left. Perfect. As soon as you're done, we'll get you onto the ionizer. And let's go ahead and grab our agglomerator. And just set you up right there and see what we get. We'll wait for that to get pushed into there. And that is now an antibiotic, and that's perfect. We can bring it up with a... what do we want? Another agglomerator, and then maybe another couple of evaporators. And that will push it out of the side effect range and well into the cure range. That's actually absolutely perfect. So we're going to go ahead and go up like this, and then we can still bring our cure in on this line as long as we're cognizant of the fact that we need to do that. In fact, just to make sure that we don't screw this up for ourselves later, I'm going to go ahead and put my pill printers down now. I suppose I could have aimed to go at this door, but that seems like a lot of wasted space. Then again, what else am I going to do with this space? We'll see. So let me see. We go through an evaporator, and then I needed an agglomerator, sorry, and then we need 2 evaporators. 1, 2. And that is a perfect setup to go right into our pill printers. Just like so. So let that run for a few moments, and that should be our new pill coming up the line here fairly shortly. And that gets bumped up by 1, and then another one. Perfect. What'd they do? Sniffles no more. Okay. That's still a level 1 drug, I think. Soothes cold sore symptoms. Yeah, that's what we're doing right here. Or cold symptoms, not cold sore. And yeah, so we're going to be pumping out an antibiotic while they're still doing, like, level 1 drugs. So, meh, I win to all of you. Alright. Zero's Infection Beater. Sounds good to me. So we're going to go ahead and slow that down and just kind of see what kind of profit we're making here. $105 a go. Yeah, they're still doing sniffles away. They're going to get into the antibiotic market pretty quick, though, so it's definitely something we're going to have to watch for. But, actually, what's the antibiotic market looking like now that we're in it? So 9 pills has 13% saturation, 10% is 14, so that's 30, that's about 45% saturation with 30 pills. Yeah, it's not worth building another line then, because they're going to set up a line whether we're completely saturating the market or not. And then at that point, we're just driving down our own price. It's more worth our while to maybe focus on upgrading our hypertension drug to treats angina. As I remember, that was quite the change, wasn't it? Yeah, that's quite the change to be able to treat angina with it. How much is that selling for, though? Maybe it'll be worth... Nah, see, it's even worse than a worse seller than our antibiotic. Might actually be worth picking up an explorer at this point and picking up our next ingredient. Let me see, where are our catalysts? Just so we know in the future. So we have 2 scientists for a green one, 3 for a blue one. That's actually a pretty good catalyst setup, I have to say. So we're going to go ahead and pick up our first explorer and see if maybe we can't break into a different market. Because I don't like where these markets are pointing right now. I don't think it's going to be a particularly profitable proposition long term. But for now, we're making some pretty good profit off of our antibiotics. Yeah, see, we're already down to $7 profit on this hypertension drug. Like, this is one we're going to have to watch, because fairly soon it's not even going to be worth running the line. It's not even worth running it now, really, but there's nothing else I can really do with the space right now, so we might as well leave it going, but we've just been... Yeah, see, the problem is our hypertension is now an E rating, which is less than good. Oh, wait, no, sorry, that was their hypertension. Ours is a D-. We're selling 30 a month, but the market for hypertension is so oversaturated. It's 140% saturation. Like, that's just ridiculous. Because we have... I'll go back into my company screen for a second here. We have... Who is it? These guys? No. Okay, so they're producing 60 of these a month. They're producing 30. They were producing 60, so I think they took one of their lines offline and moved it over to these cold sore drugs. Why do I keep saying cold sore? Cold symptom drugs. You're only producing 30. You're doing double cold symptoms as well. Maybe it might actually be worth it setting up another antibiotic line right away, and then tearing it down in the near future. You know what? I think it is. Let's get in on this train while we're still the only players. Or let's get in on... Yeah, let's get in on this this money train while we're still the only players in the game. So, 1... Let me see, how do I want to do this? I need 2 of these, followed by an agglomerator. And we are going to go out like that. No, that won't work. Unless I want to do something more like this. Yeah, I think this will work a little better for what we need right now. That'll actually work even better. Alright, so we go like that, out to the agglomerator. From there we need another agglomerator. Like so. Maybe we can go like this. Yeah, keep it nice and compact. And then from there we need 2 more evaporators and then our pill printers. Which is going to come out like so, and then pill printers. So boom, to boom, to boom, to boom, boom, in there, and then over to there, and then out the door. And we will import more of this stuff. As I said, we might as well start getting a head start on the market. Maybe we can convince the AI that it's not worth getting into. I don't think we will. I'm pretty sure they're going to hop into it no matter what we do. But, as I said, we might as well make our money while it's there to be made. No sense giving that over to the AI. Alright, so that'll drop. We might as well go ahead and throw the game onto max speed. It'll come through here, and that'll turn it into that, and then through here, and that'll activate the antibiotic effect. How is our antibiotic doing anyway? Like, what rating are we getting? We're getting a C rating. So, we're definitely quite far away from... we got our ionizer. We're definitely quite far away from the maximum concentration on that one. But I'm not going to worry about it too much, because to get there, we would have to invest quite a bit of time and money. And that's just not something I'm willing to do at the moment. Let's pick up another scientist. Oh, I'm broke. That's why. Alright. Pick up another scientist, and then we're going to go ahead and start researching the creamer. So that could be good for curing some infections later on. We're up to 30 bucks a month on this one now, so I think enough of the AI abandoned the market that it's actually worth something again. You know, we won't want to set up another line of it, but for right now, we're actually doing pretty good. 96 bucks on our infection beater pills. So far, things are ticking along quite nicely, I have to say. How close are we to getting our next ingredient? Almost there. So we're definitely gonna want to start storing some money away. Maybe even consider a loan to work on our next, our next drug, I think. Because the early game, when the AI is still getting ramped up, that's definitely where you need to kind of go in and get your early advantage that you can carry on into the game. And here's our ingredient. Alright, we're going to pause the game as we take a look at this guy. So, I can't say as I'm a massive fan of this one. There's way too many negative effects, and none of them can be removed. We can upgrade it to ease migraine fairly simply. A agglomerator followed by an evaporator will do it. But again, there's almost nowhere we can put the concentration where we don't have at least one negative effect active, and we'll probably have 2, depending on, especially if the new effect is up in this range here. I don't like this new drug. I don't think... This was not a good investment, but then again, we'd never know until we actually did the investment. So we're going to go ahead and fire our Explorer, because it's going to be a little bit before we're ready to pick up our next medication, I think. I think at this point, we kind of need to see where the ease migraine range is. If it's up here, then at least without our creamer, it's not really worth it. If it's down here, then even maybe we'll get lucky and it'll be within these first 2 pips. I doubt it, but one can hope. And if it is, then we're golden, because we just make sure that we're kind of within this range here, and we will have no side effects whatsoever. But I don't think that's going to be a thing. Either way, we'll have to wait and see kind of where we stand with it after we upgrade it, and I think that'll be what we accomplished in the next episode. So guys, thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you have enjoyed this episode. If you did, give me a like, it helps out a lot, and I will see you next time. So long.